This is why Israel and Iran are on the brink of war, the full story. There's a storm brewing in the Middle East. But this isn't just another battle over land or religion. It's a deadly rivalry rooted in history, politics, ideology, and a race to control the future of the region. Two powerful nations, Israel and Iran, stand on opposite sides of a deep divide. They've never gone to full-scale war yet. But make no mistake, their hatred runs deep. And behind the scenes, they've been waging a secret, dangerous war for decades. From assassinations and cyber attacks, to nuclear threats and proxy wars. Today, we take you on a journey through one of the most complex and explosive conflicts of our time. This is the full story of Israel versus Iran. You might be surprised to know. There was once a time when Iran and Israel were not enemies. In fact, they were quiet allies. The year is 1950. Israel has just become a new state. Surrounded by hostile Arab neighbors, it was desperate for regional support. Enter Iran, under the rule of the Shah, Mohammad Reza Pahlavi, a secular, pro-Western monarch who valued modernization and strong military ties with the West. Iran was one of the first Muslim-majority countries to recognize Israel, quietly. They traded oil. Israel provided military support and intelligence training. They had secret deals, joint military projects, even arms exchanges. But everything changed in 1979. The Islamic Revolution swept through Iran. The Shah was overthrown. In his place came Ayatollah Ruhollah Khomeini, a radical Islamic cleric with a very different vision. He declared Israel a cancerous tumor in the heart of the Muslim world. Suddenly, Iran wasn't just unfriendly to Israel, it was openly hostile. This was the beginning of a Cold War that would never thaw. This conflict isn't just about land or power. It's also about identity and ideology. Israel sees itself as a democratic homeland for the Jewish people, surrounded by hostile regimes, relying on its strength and Western alliances to survive. Iran sees itself as the leader of the Islamic Revolution, an anti-Western, Shia superpower with a divine mission to reshape the region. To Iran's leaders, Israel is more than just an enemy, it's a symbol of Western oppression. To Israel's leaders, Iran is more than just a threat, it's an existential danger. That ideological battle spilled into the region. Iran began arming and funding proxy groups, militias and terrorist organizations that could attack Israel without triggering a direct war. Groups like Hezbollah in Lebanon, Hamas and Islamic Jihad in Gaza, Shia militias in Iraq and Syria. These weren't just allies, they were weapons in Iran's long-term strategy to surround Israel with hostile forces. And Israel knew the war had begun. The Iran-Israel conflict became a shadow war. Not fought on open battlefields, but in alleyways, labs, deserts, and digital networks. In Lebanon, Hezbollah launched rockets into Israeli towns. In Gaza, Iran-funded groups carried out suicide bombings and rocket attacks. In Syria, Iran built military bases dangerously close to Israeli borders. In Iraq and Yemen, pro-Iranian militias targeted US and Israeli-linked interests. But Israel wasn't sitting still. Israeli fighter jets bombed weapons convoys in Syria. Its cyber teams sabotaged Iranian nuclear programs. Its spies hunted Iranian operatives across the globe. Between 2010 and 2020, several Iranian nuclear scientists were mysteriously assassinated, in broad daylight, some even on the streets of Tehran. Iran blamed Mossad, Israel's intelligence agency. Israel never confirmed. But the message was clear. At the heart of the Iran-Israel conflict is one terrifying question. Will Iran build a nuclear bomb? Iran says no, it's just building nuclear energy for civilian use. But Israel, the US, and many European countries don't believe it. Why? Because Iran has continued to enrich uranium far beyond civilian levels. It has hidden facilities, blocked international inspections, and even built advanced centrifuges deep underground. In 2015, a major breakthrough happened. The Iran nuclear deal, also known as the JCPOA, was signed between Iran and 6 world powers. It limited Iran's ability to enrich uranium in exchange for lifting sanctions. But in 2018, US President Donald Trump pulled out of the deal. Sanctions were reimposed. Iran retaliated by breaking the limits and restarting nuclear activity. Today, experts believe Iran is weeks away from being able to create weapons-grade uranium. For Israel, that's the final red line. And they've made it clear. If diplomacy fails, Israel will act militarily. The war got even more intense and personal. In January 2020, the US assassinated Qasem Soleimani, the head of Iran's elite Quds force. He was more than a general, he was Iran's top military mastermind across the region. His death was a major blow to Iran. Then in November 2020, Iran's top nuclear scientist, Mohsen Fakhrizadeh, was killed near Tehran in a high-tech ambush involving AI-controlled weapons. Iran accused Israel. These assassinations sent shockwaves through the Middle East. Iran vowed revenge. Israel raised its security alerts. The world watched and waited. The battlefield keeps shifting. In Syria, Iran continues to supply weapons to Hezbollah through Syrian territory. Israel launches near-weekly airstrikes to destroy those shipments. In Lebanon, Hezbollah has built underground tunnels and rocket launch sites dangerously close to Israeli cities. In Iraq and Yemen, Iranian-backed groups are using drones and missiles to target US and Israeli interests. In 2021 and 2022, oil tankers owned by Israeli companies were hit by explosives in the Persian Gulf. Iran denied involvement. But the shadow war kept escalating. Each side testing the other. Each strike answered by another. Each moment, one step closer to all-out war. In 2023 and 2024, Iran's nuclear program reached new levels. Reports confirmed that Iran had enriched uranium beyond 60% purity, closer than ever to weapons grade. At the same time, Israel elected its most right-wing government in history, with leaders who believe diplomacy is dead. They see Iran's nuclear progress as an imminent danger. Hezbollah began increasing its military drills near the Israeli border. Iran's drones flew over Israeli airspace. Tensions in Gaza exploded again, with rocket barrages and brutal Israeli airstrikes. By 2025, Israeli military planners began openly discussing a preemptive strike on Iran's nuclear facilities. The US tried to mediate. Russia and China backed Iran. Saudi Arabia and other Gulf states grew nervous. What if a regional war breaks out? The situation has never been more dangerous. This isn't just about Israel and Iran. If war breaks out, the whole region, and the world, could feel it. Hezbollah would unleash its massive rocket arsenal into Israeli cities. Iran could strike US bases across the Middle East. Oil prices would skyrocket. The global economy could spiral. Cyber attacks could hit critical infrastructure from New York to London. And nuclear proliferation could spread across the Middle East. One spark could light a fire that burns across continents. Israel and Iran may seem like total opposites. But they are both ancient civilizations, with long memories and proud ambitions. Each believes it is defending its future. Each believes the other is the threat. For now, the war is fought in silence. But the day may come, soon, when the silence breaks. And when it does, the world may never be the same. Stay informed. Stay aware. Hit that like button, subscribe, and drop your thoughts in the comments.